My beloved child, the night is not an ending. It is the beginning of a deeper encounter between your soul and me. While the world sinks into the restless sleep of worry, I remain awake, watching every faint heartbeat within you, every heavy thought that steals your rest. You think I am silent, but in truth I am still speaking. Only my voice is so gentle that you cannot hear it above the noise of fear and doubt. Do not fear the darkness, my child, for it is in the darkness that my light shines most clearly. When every door closes, I open a path that only those who trust can see. I know you are weary. I see your hands fall, your eyes heavy with sorrow, as you look around and find no way out. I understand the ache within you, when your prayers seem to vanish into the air without an answer. But my child, know this: my silence is not neglect. It is the quiet space where your faith takes root. Trees do not grow in flashes of lightning, but in the waiting of dawn. Likewise, the soul does not grow strong through instant blessings, but in the stillness of hope. Let me speak to you in the language of the wind, of the dew, of the beating of your heart. Every small thing around you carries my voice. When you see the sun rise after a long night, it is my whisper saying, I am still here. You ask me, why is my path filled with trials? I answer, because I am refining you like gold through fire. No flame comes to destroy it, comes to remove what is not pure. Every pain, every loss, every fall is preparation for your soul to learn how to stand firm. Like the potter shaping the clay, I am molding you with merciful hands so that you may become a vessel worthy to carry my light. Do not fear when I press or break what you thought was stable. If I did not, you would not be able to contain the glory that is coming. There are days when you look around and everything seems to crumble. Old dreams scatter like dust in the wind. Promises once trusted now dissolve into silence. You wonder, have I lost your hand? But my child, no soul ever slips beyond my reach. Even if you journey to the ends of loneliness, I am there, as it is written in the Psalms. If I go up to the heavens, you are there. If I make my bed in the depths, you are there also. You cannot go too far that I cannot find you, nor sink too deep that I cannot lift you. I am the breath in your lungs, the beat in your heart, the life that flows within you, whether you feel it or not. Do not think your tears are wasted. Every drop is counted and kept by me as precious jewels in the vessel of mercy. When you cry in the night, heaven itself grows still to listen. I have heard your silent cry, not in words, but in breath. And in that breath I see faith. Faith is not when you understand everything, but when you still choose to believe, though you see nothing. My child, even that small faith is enough to move heaven. When you walk through the darkness, do not seek light from men, for they only reflect a faint portion of mine. Look upward. The true light comes from the one whom no shadow can extinguish, the light that has existed since the beginning, the light that darkness can never overcome. You were born to carry that light, not the fleeting brilliance of the world, but the radiant glow of love, kindness, and peace that only I can give. Do not let the world make you doubt your worth. You are not defined by your wounds, but by the hands that healed them. I know you fear silence. You fear waiting. You fear that if you do not act, all will be lost. But my child, nothing, I promise, ever fades into nothingness. My time is not your time. You count the days. I see eternity. When you think I am delayed, I am arranging each piece of a masterpiece you cannot yet see. Like Joseph, long ago sold, imprisoned, forgotten, yet in the moment I was appointed, the prison turned into a palace. So it shall be with you, my child. Your moment is coming. But before you rise, I must make your feet steadfast, your eyes see farther, and your heart unshaken by the voices of men. You ask, why must I wait when my heart longs so deeply? I answer, because my love for you is too great to give you blessings before you can bear them. Some things, if they come too soon, will crush you instead of lift you. Some people you thought were blessings are only passing winds I use to test your heart. Trust me, for I never take without giving something better. When I close a door, it is not rejection, it is protection. When I delay, it is not denial, it is preparation for perfection. My child, do not let disappointment close your heart. Waiting is not punishment, it is the path of transformation. Just as the seed must rest in the soil before it breaks forth, so too must your faith take root in stillness before it blooms. I do not want you to blossom brightly for one season. Only I want you to become a tree that bears fruit in every season. So be patient. When everything around you seems paused, know that I am working in places you cannot see. Every breath, every day that passes is part of the process I am completing in your life. When you feel weak, do not be ashamed. I do not seek perfection, I seek sincerity. When you come to me with all your brokenness, I will use those very fragments to create a masterpiece of glory. Do not hide your wounds, for there my light can shine through. You do not need to be strong to approach me, you only need to be true. Speak to me, even if your words fall apart, for I understand even what your lips cannot say. I call you not to condemn, but to restore. You do not need to run from the past, for I have erased it with love. Do not carry your guilt like a burden, for the blood of the Lamb has already washed it clean. Look ahead, my child. Every new day is an opportunity to begin again, for my light rewrites the story that darkness once stained. You are not defined by your failures, but by grace, and that grace knows no end. In every rhythm of what seems like ordinary life, I am still inviting you to come closer. Every breath you take bears witness that I am with you. When the wind brushes through your hair, it is my gentle touch reminding you that you are not alone. When the birds sing at dawn, it is my voice saying, "A new day has come, begin again with me." I am not only the God of miracles, I am the God of every small detail. Nothing in your life escapes my attention, for you are infinitely precious in my sight. And remember, my child, you were not called to fear, you were called to shine. The darkness around you may be thick, but even one spark of light is enough to make it flee. You are that light. Live in such a way that your life itself becomes a testimony of my love. Not through grand speeches, but through forgiveness, through kindness in your gaze, through faith that glows quietly in adversity. Do not try to prove anything, for true light needs no defense. It only needs to be present. Rise up, child of the dawn. I am calling you in the middle of the night to prepare you for the coming light. Do not fear what you do not know, for the future rests safely in my hands. Believe this when I speak, my word never returns void. I have begun a good work for you, and I will bring it to completion. Rest in that truth, for my grace is sufficient for you, my child. There are seasons when I lead you into silence, not to abandon you, but to restore you. The quiet you experience is not emptiness. It is fertile ground where I plant the seed of faith, that in due time it may bloom into wisdom and peace. I know you have grown accustomed to the pace of the world, a place that demands quick results, where worth is measured by visible success. But in my kingdom you are not called to chase the noise. You are called to learn the language of stillness. Let your heart be calm. Only in silence can you hear my voice most clearly. When you stop resisting, when the tears cease, when your soul no longer struggles, that is when I can touch you most deeply. Just as the sea pulls back to make room for the moonlight to shine, so must your soul have a moment of retreat for my light to fill it completely. You think you are standing still, but in truth you are being reshaped. In the stillness, I am loosening the invisible cords that have bound you too long, the cords of worry, of control, of fear, of what lies ahead. Do not be afraid when your heart no longer feels excitement. Do not panic when what once brought you joy no longer satisfies. I am renewing your spirit so that you no longer live by emotion, but by understanding born of my spirit. Like a skilled refiner purifying gold, I place you in the fire not to destroy, but to remove impurities. I know your limits, for I myself set the boundary of the flame. No spark is allowed to touch you without passing through my hand. Be at peace, for I am teaching you to trust me not only when you see miracles, but also when all is quiet, and yet you still know that I am there. When you look around and find no one who understands, do not despair. Seasons of solitude are the classrooms of spiritual maturity. Remember, Moses spent 40 years in the wilderness before leading my people out of Egypt. David hid in caves before he sat on the throne. Even my son Jesus lived 30 hidden years before beginning his mission. They were not forgotten, they were being prepared. So it is with you, my child. I am training you in the unseen places so that when you step into the light, you can stand firm. Do not despise the hidden years, for it is in them that I write the most important chapters of your story. At times you may feel as if nothing is happening, as if your prayers are moving nothing. But my child, it is in that very stillness that the seed is growing. The young tree cannot see its roots deepen, but those roots are what keep it standing when storms come. Your faith is the same. I do not want you to believe only when results appear, but to trust when no sign is visible. True faith does not need evidence. It rests on the memory that I have never failed you. When you recall the times I have saved, lifted, and protected you, let those memories be the foundation for your present. I do not change, and my mercy never runs dry. Do not compare yourself with others. Every soul moves to the rhythm of its own grace. When you see others advancing faster or receiving blessings sooner, do not think I have forgotten you. The slowing of your journey is not abandonment. It is the rhythm of endurance. The oak tree cannot grow as quickly as grass, for it is meant to stand strong through many seasons of wind. You are the same. I am cultivating you for lasting works, not fleeting ones. When you move slowly, it is because I am making you steadfast. When you feel delayed, it is because I am deepening your roots. What grows shallowly may rise quickly, but only what is rooted in me will endure forever. There are times when I must allow you to lose something so that you may learn what is truly worth holding on to. Some people leave your life not because they are bad, but because their part in your journey has been fulfilled. They are the chapters that must close so that new ones can begin. Do not grieve, do not cling, for when your hands grasp what is past, they have no room to receive what is coming. When I take away, I do not empty to leave you void. I make space for something greater, like a gardener pruning branches, so the tree may bear more fruit. I am pruning your soul so that you may abound in fruitfulness. At times you think I want you to suffer, but no, my child, I want you to be free. Pain is only the process through which the soul learns to release. It does not come to destroy, but to awaken. Only when you are broken do you truly see that I am the one holding you together. When you have nothing left to lean on, you discover that I am the only foundation that cannot be shaken. That is true love, love not built on emotion but on eternal presence. I do not want you to know me only through miracles, but in the ordinary rhythm of every breath. When you are weak, do not hide from me in shame. I am not surprised by your trembling, for I am the one who fashioned your heart. Bring your weakness to me, and I will turn it into strength. As Micah once wrote, "Though I fall, I will rise. Though I sit in darkness, the Lord will be my light." You may fall, but you will not be defeated. You may weep, but your tears will be wiped away. You may feel lost, but you have never been abandoned. Rest your heart in this truth. Not for a single moment have I left your side. Through it all, I am deepening the roots of your faith, so that when the storms come, you will not collapse but stand firm. Do not rush out of the wilderness until I call you, for it is there that you learn to recognize my voice most clearly. The wilderness is not a place of abandonment, it is the classroom of obedience. When everything grows, still learn to listen to the wind, to your heartbeat, to the quiet breath of your soul. There you will discover that I do not need noise to act. I only need a heart that quietly trusts. Believe that every small detail is a fragment of a greater plan. One day when you look back, you will say, "Now I see every delay, every disruption, every dark night had meaning." Then you will understand that nothing is wasted in my hands. No tear is in vain, no pain fails to birth something good. You do not need to make everything perfect. You only need to remain in me. Let me fight for you, for this battle is not yours, it is mine. Your part is to hold your peace, for peace is the sign that I am at work. Do not let your mind be torn between if only and what if. Dwell in the present, the place where I am. Tomorrow belongs to me. Yesterday is gone. This moment is yours, and I am here. My beloved child, as the darkness begins to fade, I want you to know that the long night you just walked through was not meaningless. That night I engraved your name upon my hands. Every breath you took I remembered. You did not realize it, but even when you felt forsaken, I was carrying each fragile step you took. Every tear that fell I turned into rain to refresh your soul. Every sigh I wove into a melody of restoration. I have not forgotten a single moment of your life, for every minute has been a thread in the divine tapestry I am weaving for you. Look back at the road you have traveled. Was it not in pain that you learned to pray more deeply? Was it not in silence that you learned to truly hear me? Was it not when everything broke apart that you discovered what truly matters? So you see, my child, the things you called losses were lessons of wisdom. The moments you thought you were defeated were the times your faith took root deeper than ever before. I allowed you to walk through the night not to punish you, but to shape you into the strength of the dawn. Light cannot understand its own worth until it has known how deep the darkness can be. Now step forward. You need not carry your old burdens nor imprison yourself in guilt or regret. The past holds no power over you, for my grace has covered it all. Lift your head not because you are worthy, but because I have made you worthy. Do not let the memory of failure make you forget the presence of love. I do not see you through the lens of what you have done, but through the light of what I am making you into. You are no longer the broken one. You are the living testimony of restoration. I know you are still afraid of reopening old wounds, afraid that if you trust again you will be hurt once more. But my child, hear me. Fear does not come from me. I have given you a spirit of power, of love, and of sound mind. Let my love drive out every trace of fear. This love does not come to control but to set free, not to demand but to heal. Let me love you long enough for you to learn how to love yourself through my eyes. When you see yourself as I see you, fear will lose its hold, for you will know that you were created with divine purpose, chosen, set apart, and destined for a calling no one else can fulfill. I am breathing a new wind into your soul. This wind will carry away the ashes of what once was and awaken a new flame within you. You will feel a stirring inside, not of anxiety but of life rising again. The things that once frightened you will lose their power. The wounds that once hurt you will become evidence of redemption. I am rewriting your story, not with the ink of pain, but with the light of hope. Do not think that only grand miracles reveal my hand. Every morning, you open your eyes, that is already a miracle. Every peaceful breath you take amid the storm is proof that I am still here. I move not only in thunder, but in a gentle breeze, not only through great events, but in every heartbeat. You look for mighty signs, but I send subtle ones, a comforting word at the right time, a compassionate glance, a quiet breeze carrying the scent of peace. Be attentive, my child, for I am not as far as you think. I am in your very breath, in the sunlight that filters through your window, in the soft whisper of hope that refuses to die. You may not notice it, but your soul is changing. You have learned to stay silent when misunderstood, to pray instead of complain, to smile even when tears linger in your eyes. That is the sign that your faith has matured. True strength is not found in control, but in keeping peace when understanding fades. And my child, that peace, it is me. I am leading you across the bridge of night toward the dawn that is already breaking. The sun is rising, and its light will not only shine upon you, but within you. Prepare to welcome the new season, for doors once closed are beginning to open. Every prayer you whispered in despair is gathering together like drops of dew, forming a river of blessing. I am arranging divine appointments, people, opportunities, and changes that will come gently but surely, like flowers opening at the arrival of spring. Do not fear the change you feel within. Do not try to return to what was. You no longer belong to that darkness. You have been renewed, purified, and anointed for a new calling. Do not measure yourself by your past, for you now live in my present. As Paul once said, "The old has passed away. Behold, all things have become new." I am doing something new in you, not only outwardly, but deep within your heart. You may feel unready, but my child, I tell you this, it is precisely in your weakness that I can use you. I do not seek the perfect, I choose the willing. Your willingness is worth more than talent, for I can fill an empty vessel, but not one already full of itself. Open your heart even just a crack, and I will do the rest. My light will pour in, flooding every dark corner within you, and soon you will see the very things that once frightened you have become the places where my glory shines. As you step into this new season, do not forget the lessons of the long night. Carry with you the humility you learned, the gentleness forged through trial, and the gratitude born of tears. These are the jewels of your soul. They will be the light guiding others still wandering in the dark. You will become living proof that true light does not come from without, but from within, a heart that has met me. My beloved child, the storm has passed, the night has lifted, and the dawn is breaking. Not the dawn of this world, but the dawn of your soul, where you know you are loved, without condition forgiven, and chosen to walk in the light. Let your heart be filled with peace. That peace does not come from everything being perfect, but from knowing that I am in control of all things. I call you not into fear, but into freedom. Not to burden you, but to give you rest. Not to make you search in vain, but to help you find me, the one who has been with you from the beginning and will remain forever. Rise, my child. The light has come, and you are called to step out of the shadows. I am here, and I will always be here. The dawn of your soul has arrived. The light is not only shining around you, it is reaching into the deepest places within you, into the memories where tears once fell into the wounds you thought would never heal. This light does not come to expose, but to restore. It does not come as a blade of judgment, but as a stream of living water to wash away the dust. Do you hear it, my child? My voice soft as the wind, yet strong enough to awaken the parts of you that have slept too long. I have seen you step out of the night with eyes still wet with tears, yet within them glows the first spark of faith. You may not know it, but that single spark is enough to drive the darkness away. Your small faith, the one you think is weak, is a treasure celebrated in heaven. For while many believe only when they see you have believed, even when you could not, that is what makes you precious to me. Now I am opening new doors before you, doors that lead to deeper understanding of my love, my grace, and my purpose for your life. Everything you see, the people, the moments, the coincidences you call random, are woven together by divine design. Nothing happens by accident. Every meeting, every smile, every word spoken is part of the grand tapestry I am completing. I led you through the darkness not merely to help you survive, but to help you see through the eyes of the Spirit. You will now realize that some prayers were answered differently than you expected because I knew what your soul truly needed. Do not turn away from the light just because it shows you your true self. Awareness may sting, for it illuminates corners long hidden. But I tell you this, my light does not come to condemn, it comes to renew. Let it enter every space within you, your painful memories, your mistakes, the things you have feared to face. When you open your heart, the light will not harm you. It will set you free. Like sunlight striking a drop of dew and making it sparkle, my light will turn the tears of your past into jewels reflecting glory. I want you to look back not with regret but with recognition, seeing my hand woven into it all. Every event, every loss, every person who departed was a brushstroke upon the canvas of your life. If one stroke were erased, the picture would lose its fullness. So too, when I remove something from your life, it is only because I am making room for something better. Step into the light no longer with a fearful heart, but with gratitude. For when you give thanks, you begin to see miracles, even in the smallest things. Gratitude opens the door to blessing, just as a thirsty field opens itself to rain. Thank me not only for what you have received, but also for what I have withheld, for sometimes true blessing hides within the waiting. I am teaching you the art of faith, faith that believes before seeing, that trusts, though nothing has yet changed, that understands even waiting is a form of grace. The world may shift and fade, but the true light within you will never die, for it is not born of earth but of heaven. When you speak kindly, that is light. When you forgive, that is light. When you help another without seeking recognition, that too is light. This light need not blaze, it only needs to endure. And you, my child, have been chosen to carry that light into the places still shadowed. Do not fear when the world misunderstands you. Those who are called will always be set apart. The light in you may unsettle others, because it reveals what they have not yet faced. But remember this, I did not place you in the world to be admired, but to shine. Just as Jesus, my only Son, came not to be praised, but to redeem, so too are you sent. Learn from him, gentle yet strong, humble yet unwavering, silent yet powerful. You do not need to argue to prove your light. Simply live, and the darkness will retreat. You ask me, how will I know I am walking the right path? I answer, let the peace within you be your guide. What comes from me will carry peace. What does not will bring confusion. Trust that sign. Peace is quiet but stronger than every other voice. It is the heartbeat of heaven within the soul that abides in me. When peace fills, you know that you stand where I intend, even if storms rage around you. Do not search for light in the glitter of this world. True light does not dazzle, it soothes. It is not born from fleeting glory, but from communion with me. Let your heart become the lamp I ignite each morning. When you pray, you refill its oil. When you forgive, its flame burns brighter. When you love, it shines farther. Do not let the winds of this world extinguish it, for this flame is mine. It will not go out until your mission is complete. Now I want you to step forward, not as one who merely survived the night, but as one resurrected in the light. The old has fallen away. You have been cleansed by tears, refined by the fire of trials, and awakened by the breath of my spirit. Look at yourself. You are no longer the trembling soul of yesterday, but one marked by light. You have changed, my child, even if you cannot yet see it fully. Rise and go, not in haste, not to prove yourself, but in steady faith. With every step you take, the light will grow stronger. With every word you speak, love will spread wider. With every day you live, heaven will smile. For I, your God, am walking with you, not only ahead to lead you, but within you, causing you to shine from the inside out. My beloved child, when the light begins to flood in, you will see that the world around you has not changed much, but your vision has. True light does not alter the landscape. It transforms your sight. Once you saw through fear, now you see through faith. Once you saw limits, now you see possibility. Once you saw walls, now you see doors waiting for my timing to open. When your eyes are opened, you will find me in everything, in breath, in wind, in silence, and even in life's turmoil. You once asked, Lord, where will your light lead me? And today I answer, My light does not only guide the way, it reveals it. For my light does not simply show the path ahead, it illuminates you so you may know who you truly are in me. You are no longer the fearful one nor the victim of circumstance. You are the one sent to carry light into dark places. Do not think this mission is distant or grand. It begins with the smallest acts, a kind word, a gentle embrace, a compassionate silence, a sincere prayer. Every action born of love is a spark, and when many sparks unite, the sky itself will blaze. The light I give is not just a gift, it is a calling. Once you bear it within, you cannot live as before. For light always calls you deeper to love more, forgive more, believe more. It will not let you settle into comfort, but will draw you toward the unknown fields of faith. Each time you step beyond what is familiar, you will find my light going before you, parting fear, making the impossible possible. Remember, my child, you were not called to live easily, but to live meaningfully, and meaning is found only when you dare to trust me amid what you do not yet understand. I know there are moments when worry still lingers, when you glance back at the past with a sigh. You fear the light may fade when the winds of trial blow. But do not forget, the light within you was not lit by your own hand, it was placed there by mine. And I, the unchanging one, will not allow that flame to die. It may flicker, it may seem small in the stormy night, but if you keep your faith, I will breathe upon it anew until it burns strong again. Remember, faith need not be perfect, it only needs to be real. Even faith as small as a mustard seed can move mountains, for the power lies not in the seed, but in the one who makes it grow. Learn to walk in the light, not with hurried steps, but to the rhythm of peace. When I say go, I do not mean run, for my light is never rushed. All that is of me is born in order, in rhythm, in stillness. Learn to slow down, to feel each breath, to see me in the smallest details of an ordinary day. When you live slowly enough to notice, you will begin to see miracles hidden in simplicity. A flower blooming a child, laughing a stranger, smiling your way. Light does not only shine in sanctuaries or sacred spaces, it shines in markets, on streets, in kitchens where hearts meet honestly and love quietly abides. Many seek me in lofty places, but I dwell in the hearts of the humble. You do not need to do great things to be loved by me. You only need to be faithful in small ones. When you act with sincerity, even in helping a single person, I count it as if you have served me directly. For in my kingdom, nothing done in love is ever ordinary. Every act born of love carries eternal worth. Do not fear when your light causes some people to walk away. Not everyone can bear the intensity of true light. Some will understand you, others will misunderstand. Some will bless you, others will oppose you. But remember, my child, light never asks darkness for permission to shine. It simply is, and by its very being it exposes all things around it. I did not ask you to change anyone. I asked you to shine. The transformation is mine to do. Remember, light not only illuminates the path, it also reveals what must be mended. When my light shines into your heart, you may see flaws, still hidden cracks you did not know were there. Do not fear this revelation. Awareness is not condemnation, it is the beginning of healing. I do not expose to wound, I reveal to set free. The more honest you are with yourself, the clearer your inner light becomes. Allow me to do this work, gentle yet certain, until your heart reflects my image more perfectly with each passing day. In the light, you will begin to hear the rhythm of heaven, not with your ears, but with your soul. It is the rhythm of unity, of unconditional love, of joy that surpasses understanding. When you are united with me, anxiety about tomorrow will fade, for you will know that the future rests securely in my hands. When you live in the light, you no longer fear loss, because you understand that nothing is ever truly lost in me. Everything is transformed. Death becomes life, tears become laughter, and trials become testimony. Light is not only a destination, it is a journey. Each day, you are called nearer, deeper, truer. The light of today is not the light of tomorrow, for I continually reveal more to those who remain faithful. Do not stop when you feel you've reached enough, for I still have new wonders to show you. Every morning, when you open your eyes, pray, Lord, let me see you in a new light today, and I will answer. I do not only want you to walk in the light, I want you to become the light. Not so that you may shine for yourself, but so the world may see me through you. When you act with kindness, others feel my warmth. When you forgive, they glimpse my mercy. When you remain calm amid storms, they sense my power. Then, without many words, they will ask, "What gives you such peace?" And you will smile and say, "The light of God lives within me." Do not look back, for what is old has passed. Do not fear what lies ahead, for I have gone before you. Do not doubt yourself, for I am within you. Walk with a heart at rest, as one who knows they are loved, chosen, and guided by the one who never errs. Remember, you do not carry the light to be admired, but to love. You do not shine to be seen, but to show others the way to me. And when night falls again, my child, do not be afraid. For now you know the true light never disappears. It simply rests in the hearts of those who believe. Let that light live in you, always a flame that never dies, so that even when darkness returns, you will smile and say, "My God is still here." My beloved child, you will soon realize that my presence is no longer something you must search, for it is the very atmosphere you live in every moment, every breath. I am not only beside you, I am within you. I am not a distant voice from the heavens, but the breath flowing through your very being. When you open your heart, I need not knock. When you grow still, I need not call your name. For in this communion, there is no distance between the Creator and the created. You and I are not dissolved into one, but united in harmony. You're being lifted and embraced in my light. This is what I have been leading you toward all along, not that you might appear great before men, but that you might return to your true self, made in my image. For you were not created merely to exist, but to reflect. I am the source of light, and you are the mirror. Each time you live in truth, in love, in peace, my light reflects through you, giving the world a glimpse of heaven. You need not do anything extraordinary to be worthy. You need only to be yourself, the one I have loved, called and chosen before the foundation of the world. As you learn to live in the light, everything around you will seem to change, not because the world itself transforms, but because your heart does. Light does not first alter the landscape. It first transforms the soul, and from that inner radiance, all things are made new. You will discover that true joy does not depend on what you have, but on who you are in me. True peace does not come from the absence of storms, but from knowing that even in the tempest, I am holding you fast. My light is not mere comfort, it is transforming power. When it touches your heart, it will heal wounds that time could never reach. It will erase the traces of shame, the chains of fear that once imprisoned you. You will find yourself forgiving, not because others deserve it, but because you are now free. You will love not because you must, but because love has become your very nature. You will give not out of fear of lack, but because you have learned that in giving you are living in my flow. You will begin to see that everything in life bears my fingerprint. A blooming flower tells the story of my kindness. A falling rain becomes a hymn of grace. Even a trial that arrives is an invitation to step deeper into faith. When you live in the light, you will no longer ask, "Why is this happening?" but instead, "Lord, what are you teaching me through this?" And in every question you will find the answer, not through reason, but through the gentle peace that settles within your soul. True light does not remove you from the world, it enables you to live within it without belonging to it. You will still work love and take responsibility, but without anxiety, for you will know that all things are held in my hands. Communion with me is not an escape from reality, it is living in reality with an eternal heart. When you love, you will love with my love. When you speak, you will speak with the wisdom of my spirit. When you forgive, you will do what the world deems weakness, but it will be the greatest victory of all. There is one truth I want you to remember. Light is never in a hurry. It does not race against darkness, for it knows that by simply existing, the darkness must yield. You do not need to defend or explain yourself to everyone. When you know you belong to the light, you will learn to be still in peace, for truth never needs to shout to be heard. Light will speak for itself, and its voice is stronger than any argument. As you walk in the light, I will lead you through paths you once feared. Yet now you will walk without trembling, because you know I am walking with you. There will be times when you do not understand why I lead you through unfamiliar ground. But it is there, my child, that you will discover new depths of my love. The light does not only illuminate smooth roads, it travels with you through the valleys. You will learn that wherever you go, the light never leaves you, for it dwells within you. When I placed my light in you, I also planted hope for many others there. You do not carry this light for yourself alone, but for weary souls around you. There are those who will never read Scripture, but they will read you. They will see me in the way you live, in the peace in your eyes, in the kindness of your hands. So never believe your presence is meaningless. Simply by existing in the light, you are proof that I am real. One day, when you pause and look back, you will see that your journey is marked by my footprints. Every step you took, every turn you made, every tear that fell, each one has been used by me to bring you here to the place where you no longer fear the dark, where you understand that light does not come from outside, but from me within you. Then you will smile, not because everything is perfect, but because you have found perfection in me. Let your soul beat in rhythm with mine. No more distance, no more fear, no more doubt, only love, everlasting, flowing like a river within you. When you breathe in, know you are breathing in my life. When you breathe out, know you are releasing my love into the world. You are my breath upon the earth. Live, love, shine, not out of duty, but because this is your truest nature. Light is no longer merely what you receive, it is what you have become. You are the song of dawn, the whisper of new life, the proof that my love never ends. Go now, my child, with lightness in your heart and radiance in your eyes. For I, your God, am walking with you, speaking through you and shining eternally within you until every last shadow disappears. My beloved child, now that light has taken root in your soul, you are invited into a new journey, a journey no longer built on emotion, but on trust. Faith is the bridge between what you see and what I have already ordained. It is the step of the soul when the eyes of the body cannot yet perceive the way. When I call you to walk, I do not promise the path will be easy, but I promise you will never walk alone. Faith is not blindness. It is the sight of the soul, the vision that perceives in darkness what the outer light has not yet revealed. Faith is not a fleeting feeling, but a choice of the heart, a decision to believe that I am working even when you cannot feel me. Many ask for miracles in order to believe, but I say to you, it is when you believe that miracles unfold. Faith does not wait for the possible. It dares to grasp the impossible. When you walk by faith, you tread on ground only heaven understands. I know you long to see the future. You want to know when the storm will pass, when prayers will be answered, when I will move. But my child, faith does not bloom in certainty, it grows in mystery. If you could see everything clearly, you would no longer need to trust me. But when you cannot see and still choose to walk, that is when you honor me with all your heart. Remember, I do not lead you by blinding brilliance, but by promise. My light may not reveal the whole path, but it will always show the next step, and sometimes that one step is enough to make heaven rejoice. I want to teach you to trust me, even when all seems silent. There will be seasons when I allow you to walk through stillness, not because I am absent, but because I am strengthening your voice. In that silence, I am teaching you to distinguish between emotion and presence. For true presence is not dependent on feeling. It is deeper, steadier, stronger. You do not need to feel the wind to know it is blowing, and you do not need to feel me to know that I am near. Faith is not born in comfort, it is forged in collision. It grows through tears, is refined in waiting, and becomes steadfast in adversity. I do not want you to avoid the storm. I want you to learn how to stand firm in its midst. For only when you face the wind will you know the strength of your wings. Like the eagle, you are not made to flee from the wind, but to rise upon it. Every trial I allow is meant to lift you higher, help you see farther, and believe deeper. There will be times when everything around you seems to collapse, dreams shattered, trust shaken, promises distant. But I say to you, do not be afraid. Whatever is taken away only clears space for what is coming. When I prune, it is not out of anger, but so you may bear more fruit. When I close a door, it is not rejection, but protection. True faith is not just believing when blessed, it is believing while waiting. When you hold faith in silence, you are offering me a sacrifice more precious than any prayer spoken aloud. Remember Abraham, the one I called my friend. He believed the promise even when every visible sign opposed it. He trusted though his body was old and reason said it was impossible. And because he believed, I made the impossible possible. His faith was not perfect. He doubted, he stumbled, but he did not quit. So too, I do not ask for flawless faith. I ask only that you do not abandon it. Even trembling faith is beautiful to me when it is real. There are promises I placed within you that seem to have fallen asleep. You prayed, you waited, and then you grew weary. But I tell you, my promises never die, they are only waiting for my time. Joseph dreamed of royalty while sitting in a prison cell. Moses was called a deliverer, yet spent 40 years in the wilderness. David was anointed as king, yet fled for his life before he reigned. I forget no promise, my child. I use time to prepare you for what I will give. Faith does not merely wait for fulfillment, it believes the process itself is a blessing. In the journey of faith, you will learn that my silence never means my absence. When you see nothing changing, that is when I am working most. You see only the surface, but I am arranging things beneath. Just as a farmer cannot see the seed under the soil but trusts it is growing, so must you trust me. You may not yet see the sprout, but I see it pushing upward. Do not dig up what you planted. Water it with prayer and faith. In due time you will see it bloom. Faith never walks alone. It travels hand in hand with love and hope. When faith falters, love lifts you. When hope fades, faith reminds you. These three are bound together like cords that do not easily break. When you love, you are believing. When you believe, you are hoping. When you hope, you are loving. True faith is never dry, for it is nourished by love. Love for me and for those around you. There will be steps I ask you to take alone, not because I have withdrawn, but because I want you to know faith needs no hand but mine. When you find no one who understands, no one walking beside you, remember, I am there in the quiet walking with you. When you are weak, I will be your strength. When you fall, I will lift you. When you want to stop, I will whisper, just one more step. And when you hear it, you will know that heaven still walks with you. Each time you choose to believe amid hardship, something within you is reborn. Faith does not only carry you through, it transforms you. It makes you stronger, deeper, closer to me. Trials are not sent to destroy you, but to reveal what I have already placed within you. You are gold refined, not clay easily broken. Every fire you pass through only makes you shine brighter, it never diminishes your worth. When the path grows hard, remember, faith does not call you to triumph by your own strength, but through surrender. When you yield to me, you are not weaker, you are free. When you stop striving to control, I begin to act. Faith is when you say, I don't understand what's happening, but I know you are here, and in that moment, heaven opens. I call you to walk not by sight, but by trust. Do not fix your eyes on the wind or the waves, fix them on me. As Peter walked upon the water when his eyes stayed on my Son, you too can rise above if you refuse to let fear pull you down. Faith does not ask, what if? It simply says, yes, and every yes you give sets heaven in motion. My child, faith is not a cloak you wear on calm days. It is the flame that keeps you warm through cold nights. There will be seasons when the winds of trial blow so fiercely you fear the flame will die. But in those moments I am watching to see whether the fire burns from me or from borrowed light. When faith is tested by fire, it does not weaken, it is purified. Just as gold shines brightest after the furnace, so your soul will glow with greater radiance after every testing. You ask me, why must pain teach me faith? Why must I lose to learn how to hold on? And I say, because faith cannot grow in safety. Faith becomes real only when it stands firm amid contradiction. When all things fall apart and you still believe I am at work, that is faith. When no miracle comes yet you still give thanks, that is faith. When you do not understand yet, still say, Lord, I believe you are good, that is faith. True faith is not proven by victory, but by endurance when everything seems lost. When I let you walk through hardship, it is not to make you suffer, but to make you genuine. Many claim to trust me, but their faith lives only when life is kind. I have chosen you to learn a deeper faith, a faith not built on emotion, not dependent on evidence, not based on results. I am teaching you to trust in me, not merely in what I do. When you believe even before I act, you have entered the sacred realm only the mature in spirit can understand. Faith will be tested not only by adversity, but also by silence. My silence can feel as heavy as darkness, and you may think I have departed. But in that silence, I am laying your foundation. Remember this, I never stay silent to abandon you. I stay silent to see if you truly trust. Like a teacher who says nothing during the test, I am letting you apply what you have learned. You are not forgotten. You are being proven. And when you endure, you will find yourself transformed, not only stronger, but closer to me than ever before. There are things I will take from you, so that you may know what you truly need. There are people I will allow to leave, not because they are bad, but because they cannot walk with you into the next level of faith. There are doors I will close not to punish you, but to protect you. There are prayers I will not yet answer, not because I have forgotten, but because I am using the waiting to carve into you the lesson of patience. When you can see nothing, hear nothing, and feel nothing, stand firm. For when all sensations fade, only one thing can hold you upright: faith. I want you to know this. The enemy does not fear those who sing when everything is well. He fears the one who still praises in the night. He fears the one who prays with tears still fresh. He fears the one who bows even when no miracle has come, for he knows that such faith cannot be defeated. That kind of faith does not need evidence to exist. It becomes the evidence that I am real. My child, when you still believe, though you have nothing left to cling to, heaven trembles and hell falls silent. Remember Job, my servant. He lost everything: wealth, family, honor, and was covered in pain. Yet he said, though he slayed me, yet will I trust in him. Those words made darkness shudder. Job did not know the future, but he knew me. He did not understand the reason, but he trusted my heart, and that trust brought him restoration, double what was lost. Your faith too will be like his, my child. Each time you stand amid ashes and still whisper, I know. You are good, you build an altar in the desert, and heaven descends to dwell there. Do not forget, faith is not always as firm as a mountain. Sometimes it trembles as small as a mustard seed. Yet that seed, when planted in my heart, becomes a great tree whose branches shelter many. You do not need strong faith. You need real faith. A small but sincere faith can move the heavens and the earth, for its power lies not in its size, but in the one it trusts. There will be nights when you pray and hear no reply. There will be mornings when you wake to the same wall before you. Do not think I am idle. You are in the process of a miracle. Just as a seed must press through soil before it meets the sun, so your faith is pushing through layers of doubt. One day you will look back and see, I was never late. I was precise to the very moment. In trials, I do not ask you to be strong. I ask you not to let go. You may cry, but don't release my hand. You may tremble, but don't retreat. You may grow weary, but don't turn back. Every time you whisper, I still believe, even through tears, I count it as victory. You need not prove anything to the world. Simply hold on to the thread of faith that binds you to me. The tighter that thread is stretched, the closer I draw you in. When faith is tested, you will discover its greatest treasure, that I am real. Not a story you heard, but a truth you know. When you stand in the storm and feel my hand lift you, you will never doubt again. When you are exhausted and I breathe life into you, you will understand that my love is no theory, it is power. Every time I allow you to walk through the night, it is so you may see the dawn with your own eyes. Do not think faith means constant victory. There will be moments you fall, moments you doubt, moments you cry, Lord, are you still there? But I tell you, faith is not lost when you question. It is lost when you stop asking. Keep seeking, keep knocking, keep calling. Even when you are weak, faith lives on, because it is not upheld by your strength but by my faithfulness. When the storm finally settles and the dust clears, you will understand something profound. Faith does not merely help you survive, it transforms who you are. You will no longer walk in fear, but in the knowing that no matter what comes, I remain God. Just as the sea cannot drown the one I have called no trial, can destroy the soul that knows who holds the helm. So now, if you stand amid fierce winds, lift your head. Do not seek escape, seek endurance. Do not ask why, ask what can I learn. For every storm carries a message written by my hand. Your faith will not mature when you avoid the tempest, but when you realize that I am in it with you. And when you emerge from the trial, the light within you will shine brighter than ever. Others will see it and ask, how did you make it through? And you will smile, because you know it was not your strength but my grace. You will speak not of the storm, but of the one who held your hand through it. And the world will know there is a living God, still loving, still faithful, still keeping those who trust in him. My beloved child, when faith has been refined by fire, it no longer trembles before the storm, nor wavers before the night. Mature faith becomes like a river, quiet, yet powerful, humble, yet unstoppable. When you have learned to stand in silence, to endure in darkness, and to walk without seeing, you have unlocked a sacred door, the door that leads to the realm of power. There, faith no longer merely helps you survive, it empowers you to transform the world around you. My child, faith is not a weapon you hold in your hand, it is the fragrance that flows from your soul. When you truly believe, every word you speak and every thought you carry releases the creative energy of heaven. By faith, the world was formed. By faith, the sea was divided. By faith, the dead were raised. And by that same faith, I work through you today. Faith does not merely make you witness miracles, it makes you the vessel through which miracles flow. When you believe, I move. When you step forward, I make a way. When you speak words of trust, heaven responds like an echo rolling through the valley. You once thought that power was something distant, earned through long prayers or sacred rituals. But I tell you, power is not far away, it is within you. Faith is the key that unlocks the treasure I placed in your spirit since the beginning of creation. When you believe that I am in you and you are in me, nothing becomes impossible. My son said, if you have faith as small as a mustard seed, you can say to this mountain, move, and it will move. The mountain is not made of stone. It is every fear, every past wound, every limit, every doubt. When true faith rises, every mountain must bow low. Faith is not merely confession, it is the act of absolute trust. When you say, I believe you, you are entering into a covenant with me, that you will walk not by your own understanding, but by the guidance of my Spirit. When you obey before you understand, that is the moment faith is unlocked. For obedience is the purest expression of belief. Many pray for power, yet hesitate to leave the comfort of safety. But you, my child, have learned to walk even when the bridge has not appeared, and because of that, the bridge will form beneath your feet. Your faith now does more than change you. It changes the atmosphere around you. Every time you pray in trust, the air shifts. Every time you declare my word in faith, darkness is pushed back. Every time you forgive in love, invisible chains are broken. Faith turns you into a refuge for weary souls, a lamp in the night, a stream in the dry land. You are no longer just one who is saved. You have become a vessel of salvation for others. I did not give you faith only to live by it, but so that through it others may live. You may not always notice, but your very presence transforms those around you. When you enter a room with peace in your heart, anxiety begins to quiet. When you speak words full of trust, fear dissolves. When you pray in silence, I act in secret. True faith is never loud, but nothing can stand against it. Like the wind, it cannot be seen, but it leaves traces everywhere it passes. With faith comes responsibility. I do not give you power so that you may appear great, but that you may be a channel for my grace. The more I entrust to you, the more humility you must carry. For when faith begins to operate, people may mistake the strength for your own. But remember, it is not you who act, but I who act through you. When you pray and miracles happen, bow your head in gratitude. When your words come to pass, remember it is because your heart aligned with mine. Faith seeks no glory for itself. It returns all glory to me, the source of every good thing. True faith does not demand the extraordinary, it reveals the extraordinary through the ordinary. Faith is not found only in miracles. It lives in the quiet details of everyday life. When you rise and give thanks, that is faith. When you work faithfully, though no one sees, that is faith. When you forgive those who hurt you, that is faith. When you choose joy in pain, that is faith. And when you see what others cannot see, believe what others cannot believe. That is when faith in you becomes the light of heaven shining on earth. You will see that faith accomplishes what reason cannot. When you believe water turns to wine, when you believe the desert blooms, when you believe your words become seeds of life. Faith is not your effort to make me act. It is your surrender that allows me to act through you. Faith opens the gate between heaven and earth, allowing the divine to touch the visible. When you walk in faith, every step becomes a prayer, and every act becomes a revelation of heaven. There is a secret. I want you to know, true faith is not striving to believe, it is resting in belief. When you truly trust me, you no longer struggle to make things happen. You learn to rest knowing I am working behind the veil. Faith does not need worry, it needs surrender. When you cease striving, faith begins to move. When you stop controlling, miracles begin to unfold. The quieter your soul becomes, the stronger I work. Let faith become the rhythm of your breathing, natural and unforced. You do not think to breathe, you simply breathe. So too, you need not try to believe, you simply believe. Let trust be the reflex of your soul, not the reaction of your fear. Do not ask, can this happen? Say. Instead, If you have spoken, it will be so. When you reach that place, your words will carry creative power. Every prayer will fly like an arrow to my throne, and every breath will stir heaven itself. Understand this, my child. When faith is awakened, it does not mean trials cease. It means you have learned to stand unshaken within them. When the waves rise, you will not fear, for you know you no longer stand on shifting sand, but on solid rock. Faith has made you part of what cannot be moved. Though the earth trembles and the heavens change, your heart will remain at peace, for you know that I am the Eternal One. My beloved child, one day you will look back and realize everything that once made you anxious, weep, or question was the very soil from which your faith took root. Nothing was wasted. No tears were meaningless. Every drop that fell watered the seed of faith, and now it has grown into a forest of hope. Others will find shelter beneath its branches, resting in the shade of the peace you carry. And in that moment you will understand, faith was never just a journey, it was a legacy. Do not fear to speak my word, to follow my voice, or to dream the dreams I have placed in your heart. For now you are no longer the one searching for faith. You are the one through whom faith is moving. Remember, faith is not a phase. It is the essence of those who live in me. And when you believe, all of heaven stands with you. My dear one, you are stepping into the season of fulfillment, the season where all I have promised, all you have prayed for, all the tears you have sown, are now becoming reality. Every seed of faith planted in secret, every night you cried, yet refused to stop believing. Every word spoken in despair but laced with hope, each of these is now blooming under my light. Do you remember the times you asked, "When, Lord?" That was the very moment I began arranging. And now, as time reaches its fullness, you will see what I have been weaving in silence. No seed sown in tears will fail to blossom in joy. Every prayer you thought vanished into the air has been recorded in the eternal memory of heaven. Every tear that touched the earth I have caught in my hands. What seemed delayed was not late. It was right on time. Your timeline is measured by impatience, but mine is measured by perfection. While you were waiting, I was aligning, connecting, and preparing every piece so that when the answer came, everything would fit perfectly. I know there were moments when you lost heart. You thought the waiting years were wasted. You wondered if my promises were illusions. But hear me, child. No year, no detour, no mistake, no silent day has been wasted in my hands. Even the missteps, the delays, the moments you deemed meaningless, all of them were brushstrokes in the masterpiece I am painting. If I had not led you through the dark, you would never have learned to cherish the light. If I had not allowed loneliness, you would never have known the sweetness of my presence. If I had not let you fail, you would never have understood the joy of victory. Nothing in your past was excess. It was the soil for the harvest of today. Now you stand beneath open heavens. What you prayed for, I will not only grant, I will multiply. What was lost, I will restore in abundance. What was broken, I will heal so completely that not even scars remain. For I am not the God of sufficiency. I am the God of overflow. When I give, I press down, shake together, and run over. Yet I do not give early, for I love you too much to hand you blessings heavier than your strength. I waited until your heart was still, your roots were deep, and your faith strong enough to receive the gift without forgetting the giver. The winter is over, the rain has ceased, and the ground is breaking forth with life. Dreams you thought had died are breathing again. Doors once sealed are opening. Prayers once whispered in tears are becoming tangible, not through thunderous miracles, but through the quiet orchestration of my hand. Everything is shifting, not according to the world's calendar, but in rhythm with heaven's heartbeat. Do not be surprised when change comes swiftly. Delays will turn suddenly to direction. The right relationships will be restored. The right opportunities will find you. The right blessings will be released. I am arranging people, timing, and circumstances to intersect perfectly under my divine plan. Do not fear the speed of transformation. It is not to overwhelm you, but to place you exactly where you were destined to be. You are stepping into the wind of grace, where what you once chased will now flow toward you, for you are aligned with my current. Your faith has become a magnet drawing in what belongs to you. When you feared, you repelled blessing, but when you believed, you opened the gates of heaven. Now you no longer stand as a beggar pleading, you stand as an heir receiving. All that is mine belongs to you because you belong to me. Lift your head, child. Walk in gratitude. Blessing comes not because you are perfect, but because you have been faithful. Not because you are deserving, but because I am steadfast. And remember, my promises are fulfilled, not just to make you rejoice, but so others may see my glory through your life. When I bless you, I am showing the world my love through you. Your blessings will become living testimony that I am real, that I am good, that I keep my word. Others will ask, how could this be? And you will smile and say, because my God never fails. Use what I give you to shine for others. Blessing is not meant to be stored, it is meant to be shared. And as you give, it will not diminish, it will multiply. I give you not only provision, but vision. Not only opportunity, but purpose. Not only joy, but wisdom. For I do not want you to merely receive. I want you to understand why you receive. Every true blessing carries a mission. When I lift you up, it is not to make you higher, but to help you see farther. When I set you upon a hill, it is not for display, but to shine light into the valleys below. Your blessing is the seed for another generation. And in this harvest season, remember the one who made the seed grow. Remember the hands that wiped your tears, the voice that calmed your fears, the breath that lifted you when you fell. Let not success draw you from me. The harvest is beautiful, but it is also dangerous, for in abundance forgetfulness can creep in. Keep your heart soft, humble, and grateful. For I can perform miracles anywhere, but I dwell where gratitude lives. When you thank me, I draw near. When you praise me, I inhabit your song. When you recall what I have done, I do even more. Know this, my beloved, the harvest is not the end. It is the beginning of a new cycle. The grain you reap today will become the seed for tomorrow. The blessings you receive today will become testimonies for others. My grace never stops. It flows unceasingly. When you give, blessing continues. When you live with gratitude, your light will never fade. And in every season, I, your God, will remain the same, faithful, abundant, and endlessly near. Rejoice, my child, and walk forward in this new season with joy. The weight of yesterday has fallen away. Doubt and fear no longer have power over you. Open your heart wide, for I am pouring out blessings beyond measure, so abundant that you will not have room to contain them. All that you once longed for, dreamed of, and believed for is now unfolding before your eyes. Rejoice, for I have seen your faithfulness. Celebrate, for my word never returns void. And lift your head, for the light of harvest now covers you, and from that light you will step into a new chapter of glory. My beloved, true blessing is not measured by what you receive, but by what you do with what you've been given. Many receive much, but few know how to preserve and multiply it. The harvest is not only a time of joy, it is a time of responsibility. When I pour out blessings, it is not for you to store, but to flow. For blessings were never meant to be hoarded. They are meant to move, to bring life to others. Obedience is the fertile soil that allows blessing to grow and endure. You have learned to wait, to believe in the dark, and now I am teaching you a higher lesson, to obey in abundance. When you were in hardship, your eyes easily turned toward me. But in times of blessing, the heart often forgets the one who gave it. I do not test your heart in lack, but in plenty. For it is in abundance that your true allegiance is revealed. Obedience in scarcity is difficult, but obedience in abundance is harder. Still, it requires a tender heart amid praise and steady eyes fixed on me amid opportunity. Obedience is not driven by fear but by love. When you truly know me, you will obey, not out of compulsion but out of trust. You will follow my word not as a burden but as an honor. Obedience means moving when you hear my voice, even when it defies logic, even when it opposes the world's reasoning, because you know that not every path leads to blessing, only mine does. In every small act of obedience, you are planting seeds for the future, seeds of love, influence, and eternal life. Each time you obey, you are partnering with heaven. When I ask you to forgive, it is not to set them free, it is to set you free. When I tell you to pause, it is not to make you lose opportunity, it is to protect you from a wrong turn. When I tell you to go, it is not because I need your labor, it is because I want you to discover the treasure I've placed within you. Every word I speak carries a redemptive purpose, even when you cannot see it. So do not choose to listen only when you understand. Listen because you trust that I am always right. Obedience is never wasted. Even when you step into uncharted territory, I go before you. There are things I will ask of you that you won't comprehend in the moment, but one day you will look back and see that those seemingly meaningless steps were the very paths that made way for miracles. You don't need to know the full picture to obey. You only need to know the one who commands. When Noah built an ark under a cloudless sky, people mocked him, yet he obeyed because he believed. That obedience preserved humankind. When Abraham raised the knife to offer his son, he didn't know what I would do, but he trusted my faithfulness, and through that obedience, his descendants were blessed forever. Sometimes, obedience means letting go. There are things you wish to keep, but I say release them. There are people you long to hold on to, but I whisper, let them go. There are plans you are certain are right, but I gently close the door. Do not mistake this for punishment. It is protection. You cannot step into the new while clinging to the old. When you can say, not my will, but yours be done, you open the door to blessings beyond understanding. Obedience often looks like loss at first, but it always ends in fullness. My child, obedience is not always loud. It often happens in silence, in choosing not to retaliate, not to justify yourself, not to react out of emotion. When you keep peace instead of anger, when you choose love instead of bitterness, when you stay quiet and pray instead of criticizing, this too is obedience. Each of these moments is a gentle yes that moves mountains. Heaven treasures quiet obedience more than grand gestures, for within it lies love that needs no recognition. And from that heart of obedience, divine fruit will grow. You will see your heart transform, the self will fade, compassion will increase. You will no longer see others through judgment but through mercy. You will no longer live to be noticed but to fulfill purpose. And that fruit will spread. People will recognize me in your patience, gentleness, honesty, and peace. In your obedience, you become a reflection of my image. Through you, many souls will find their way home. When you live in my will, you are no longer bound by fear, public opinion, or the pressure of outcomes. You are free, for every step you take is already blessed. To yield to my will is not to lose control, it is to hand it over to the one who can do far better. And soon you will see that everything you once worried about has already been arranged. Nothing has been overlooked, nothing has been delayed. For those who walk in obedience, every path, no matter how uncertain, leads straight into my perfect plan. My beloved child, I do not delight in how much you accomplish, but in how willing you are to let me lead. The world measures success by results, but I measure it by obedience. A single step taken in response to my voice is worth more than 1,000 great deeds born of self-will. When you yield to me, your soul aligns with the current of heaven, where everything flows in order and grace. There is no striving, no burden, only the quiet ease of one who knows they are covered. And then the fruit of obedience will begin to bloom around you. Peace will settle upon your household, The work of your hands will prosper with goodness. Those you touch will be healed not only through your words but through the way you live. Your very presence will carry the fragrance of heaven. And when others ask, "What is your secret?" you will simply smile and say, "I just do what he says." Know this, my child, obedience will always lead you into unexpected blessings. You may not understand it at first, but remember, every step of obedience is recorded in heaven. Nothing you do in faith is forgotten. Even the smallest choices, a humble apology, a moment of restraint, a quiet surrender, are seeds planted in good soil. In their time, they will grow into fields of peace, where you and those around you will walk in the light of grace. Child of mine, the harvest is not given so you may only rejoice, it is given so you may be sent. When I pour out blessings, I do not stop there. I shape you into a vessel through which others may receive. What you have been given is not yours to keep, it is yours to release. So do not think the journey has ended. Now that you stand firm in light, I am calling you to a higher place, not merely a receiver of blessing, but a bearer of it. No longer only the redeemed, but one who reaches to redeem others. Blessing, my child, is not wealth or success alone. True blessing is when your soul overflows so abundantly that you cannot contain it. Just as a river cannot hold its waters without spilling over, you cannot hold light without shining it forth. Everything I have done in you, healing, shaping, teaching, refining, has been preparing you for this moment when you become the living testimony of my love to a world that thirsts. This world is dry, not for lack of resources, but for lack of love. Many hearts are withering in loneliness. Many souls have forgotten they were ever loved. I am sending you to them not with promises, but with presence. Bring your light into dark places. Use your peace to calm the storms within others. Use your kindness to rebuild the faith of broken hearts. You do not need to do great things, only real things done with real love, and I will make them great. Abundance is not about having much. It is about knowing you always have enough to share. When you give, you do not lose, you expand. For in giving you connect with heaven's flow. I am the source. You are the channel. When the channel stays open, the living water never stops flowing. When you share, I pour more. When you withhold, the stream slows. This is the law of grace. The more you give, the more you receive. The more you love, the more love surrounds you. The more you forgive, the freer you become. The more you serve, the higher you are lifted. Do not fear when I widen your borders. Blessing always comes with mission, and mission will always pull you beyond comfort. I will send you to places you've never been, to meet people you never imagined. You may step onto unfamiliar ground, but remember, wherever I send you, my grace has gone before you. You never walk alone. Every step you take, my angels go ahead to prepare the way. Every word you speak in obedience, my spirit empowers. And when you feel small, remember it is my joy to use small things for great purposes, so that all glory returns to me. The true mission begins in the smallest acts, a word of comfort, a gentle smile, a hand reaching toward despair. I do not measure work by its scale, but by its heart. A cup of water offered in love is worth as much as the sermon of a prophet. A hidden act of kindness carries the same power as 1,000 declarations. The world does not need more noise. It needs more hearts that know how to love in silence. Let your light speak for you. When you live in my flow, you will never fear running dry, for your source can never be exhausted. When you know I am your provider, you will give without fear of lack. When you know I am your protector, you will walk without fear of being hurt. When you know I am your guide, you will trust even without a map. True blessing is not the absence of struggle. It is the peace of knowing that whatever comes, you remain held in my hands. My beloved child, everything you touch will transform. Wherever your feet tread, peace will spread. The words you speak, even if soft as a whisper, will carry the seed of life. Your gaze will melt hearts of stone, and your embrace will heal wounds long hidden. You will become a bringer of restoration not by strength but by kindness. I do not need you to carry a sword. I need you to carry love, not to conquer but to serve, not to prove but to lift. I let you taste darkness so you would understand those still lost in it. I allowed you to walk through the night so that you could guide others toward the dawn. I healed you so you could become an instrument of healing. No one is restored to remain still. Everyone who is rescued is also sent. And now I send you not with thunder but with a gentle wind, a breeze carrying the fragrance of heaven. You will soon see that your blessing does more than change your own life. It will ripple through generations. The prayers you lift today will open doors for your descendants tomorrow. The seeds of love you plant now will become shade for many weary souls. Every act of obedience will become a sacred inheritance. People will remember you not because you were great, but because you were faithful. And I, your God, will rejoice seeing your faith continue to bear fruit through the passing years. When you live in abundance, remember, true abundance is not measured by what you hold, but by how freely you love. When you can love those who hurt you, you live in abundance. When you can pray for those who despise you, you live in abundance. When you can smile in adversity, you live in abundance. For abundance is not a possession of the hand, but a posture of the heart. Now I place upon you a new commission, not merely to keep the light, but to spread it. You have been prepared, refined, and filled. Now go forth. Not in haste, not in fear. Let me guide your every step, for wherever I call the way has already been made. You will not speak in your own name, but in mine. You will not act by your own power, but by the strength of my Spirit. And through you, I will ignite countless souls, one candle, lighting another, until the darkness has nowhere left to hide. My beloved, no one is called to walk alone. The light within you was never meant to stand apart, but to join with others to form a radiant constellation, a living network of souls resonating with the frequency of heaven. You are not a solitary lamp in the night. You are part of a great lighthouse I am building across the earth. And when the appointed time comes, I will cause these lights to find one another, not by human effort, but by the leading of my Spirit. You have walked a long road of solitude, where you learned to hear my voice in silence and to stand firm when no one stood beside you. I let you walk alone not to abandon you, but to teach you to discern my whisper amidst the world's noise. For only when you master stillness can you recognize the call of kindred souls who also carry my light. Now I say to you, the season of solitude is complete. The door of divine unity is opening, and the souls of light will begin to recognize one another through a glance, through a word, through the quiet knowing of the heart. Those I send to you are not random. They come in the exact moment you are ready to help you build something greater than yourself. You will know them not by logic but by spirit. When you meet them, your heart will rest even before your mind understands. You will feel a sacred familiarity, for your souls have already met before time began. I wrote their names into your story long ago so that when the hour arrives, each piece will align, each thread of destiny will intertwine, and the tapestry of my glory will unfold. Do not doubt when I bring new connections into your life. Some will arrive gently like the morning breeze. Others will come with fire to refine the gold within you. Yet each serves a purpose in my divine design. Some will open doors for you. Some will reveal what you could not see. Some will share your mission, and some will appear only briefly to awaken a precious lesson within you. None are meaningless in the flow of my will. As you begin to meet them, you will see that each carries a portion of the light, and when you unite, that light becomes whole. One will bear compassion, another wisdom, another the gift of healing, another the song of faith. Like instruments in a symphony, none are the same, yet all play in harmony under one melody, my love. When you learn to honor, to listen, to walk in unity, you will witness the true power of heaven on earth. For where love unites, there I dwell. Do not seek perfection in those I send. They too are being shaped by my hand, learning to trust, to forgive, to love, to obey. Do not expect them never to stumble, for I have been patient with you in the same way. See them through the eyes I see you with mercy. When you accept others in their weakness, you reflect the truest form of love. And that love will be the cord that binds you together stronger than any vow or agreement the world can offer. And when all these lights begin to rise together, the world will see a brilliance it has never known, a dawn of my kingdom, shimmering across hearts joined by faith. For the glory of heaven was never meant for one, but for many who move as one, breathing, shining, and loving in perfect harmony with me. My beloved child, light is not confined by language, geography, or culture. Those who carry the light recognize one another, not by outward form, but by spirit. When two bearers of light meet, words are not needed. A single glance is enough to understand. The communion of light transcends human speech. It is the language of the Spirit. Through it, I am building a spiritual body across the earth, each soul a living cell, and my spirit the breath that sustains them all. There are some I am sending to you, so that together you may carry the mission farther. You will work side by side, pray, comfort, and restore. But remember, this true unity is not sameness, it is harmony. You need not be identical, you need only be aligned toward me. Let love be your foundation, and respect your bridge, for when hearts move as one, heaven flows through you unhindered. Do not argue over who is right or wrong, instead ask what brings peace. For peace will always mark my presence. When you stand among a community of light bearers, you will feel the strength of resonance. A single prayer from you can stir heaven, but when many souls pray in unity, heaven itself moves. When one worships, the sound rises, but when many worship together, the heavens tremble. When one candle is lit, darkness retreats a little, but when a multitude burns together, night vanishes completely. That is what I am doing now, calling my light bearers from every corner of the earth to rise, to recognize one another, and to shine together. This is the appointed time when faithful souls will be drawn together through divine orchestration. You need not seek them out, for I will cause your paths to cross at the right moment. A conversation that seems accidental, a glance in an unexpected place, a miraculous coincidence. None of it is luck, but providence. When I decree a meeting, nothing can prevent it. When I choose two paths to intersect, I will bend circumstances until they align. And when you meet them, you will understand that I never forgot you. I have prepared companions who resonate with your spirit, to share your burden, to strengthen your hands, to sing with you the song of the kingdom. You will feel a deep joy, not fleeting but eternal, the joy of belonging, for your soul will whisper, "This is the spiritual family he promised." The season of unity has come. No more division, no more isolation, no more doubt. The light within you will begin to blend with the light in others, and from that merging a new spiritual movement will arise, a movement of love, restoration, and healing. I am calling the bearers of light everywhere, not to build a new religion, but to rekindle the flame of true love, pure faith, humility, and righteousness. You will see, my child, this is the greatest mission, not to conquer the world, but to illuminate it with love. My child, true power lies not in numbers, but in unity. A single lamp can light a room, but 100 lamps together can drive darkness from an entire city. In the same way, one soul of light can awaken a heart, but when many hearts turn toward me, the world itself will be transformed. I have scattered my light to the four corners of the earth, and now I am gathering it, not to build human kingdoms, but to restore mine upon the earth. Unity is not uniformity, it is harmony. Like distinct notes forming one symphony, Each person I have chosen carries a unique melody. One the song of mercy, another the fire of faith, another the voice of wisdom, another the sound of healing. When all are yielded to my spirit, their voices blend into one song, the song of love and glory. In that song, none stand above, none fade away. All become one living body moving to a single rhythm, the rhythm of my heart. The world has grown accustomed to division. Humanity has built walls of prejudice, pride, and power. But in my kingdom, there are no walls, only bridges. Bridges between hearts, between souls, between heaven and earth. When you begin to walk in unity, invisible barriers will crumble. All that once divided fear, misunderstanding, arrogance, will melt in the fire of love, and the world will marvel, for where true unity exists, true power follows. Do not think unity means mere agreement in words. True unity begins in the spirit. It is not born of compromise, but of surrender to the same spirit. When each lays down their own will and allows my spirit to lead, you will witness the miraculous plans will align without control, actions will flow without force. For I am not the God of confusion, but of divine order. In that unity, all things fall perfectly into place, according to the design only I hold. I made you different on purpose, not so you would clash, but so you would complete one another. The one who carries fire needs the one who carries water, that the flame may purify but not destroy. The one with vision needs the one who acts, that dreams might take form. The strong need the gentle, that power may remain compassionate. The one who speaks needs the one who listens, that sound may not turn to noise. When you work together in love, every difference becomes beauty, and every contrast becomes harmony, revealing the perfection of my design. And in that harmony, heaven will find its echo on earth. The world will glimpse a light. It cannot explain a light, not of ambition or doctrine, but of love. For when my children move as one, the kingdom is no longer distant, it lives among you. My beloved child, in this generation I am doing what the world has never witnessed. I am gathering hearts that remain faithful from every corner of the earth. They need no title, no rank, no applause. They simply need to be, that the light within them may flow outward. When they meet, they know. No introductions, no explanations. Only the instant spiritual recognition, this one carries the same frequency. And when they pray together, the ground trembles. When they praise together, darkness retreats. This is the power of unity, not a human power, but a heavenly one. The world calls control power, but in my kingdom, power is the capacity to love. When my children unite in love, I can accomplish through them what even the hosts of heaven cannot do alone. I do not move through isolated souls, but through a living body joined by compassion. When you pray for others instead of yourself, heaven stirs. When you lift instead of criticize, a new flame ignites. When you choose unity over argument, I hear the sound of peace, the sound that delights me most. As light rises, darkness will react. It will sow doubt, provoke jealousy, and breed misunderstanding. But remember, the enemy does not fear isolated holiness, it fears holy unity. One pure soul can light a corner, but a community united in my spirit can flood the world with radiance. So when conflict arises, do not let it divide. Let it purify love. When you are hurt, do not withdraw. Let forgiveness be your offering. When another is exalted, do not compare. Rejoice, for their victory is the victory of the body you belong to. Here is my promise. Where 2 or 3 gather in my name, I am there. There is no need for stone temples or elaborate rituals, only hearts turn toward me. When you pray together, I descend. When you worship together, I act. When you proclaim love together, I reach even the farthest soul. And when you love one another, the world will know that I am real, for nothing reveals my presence more clearly than the love shared between those who are mine. This unity is not a dream, it is the design I set in motion before creation. Since humanity was divided at Babel, I have planned a day when languages would again be one not in speech but in spirit. That day has come. I am weaving diverse voices into a harmony of grace. I am reconnecting those once estranged, forming a spiritual family that mirrors heaven's heart. Through them I am restoring my kingdom on earth, where people love not because they are alike, but because they belong to me. And as you walk among these bearers of light, you will feel what I have long prepared, a resonance too deep for words. Prayers will join across nations, hearts will echo across oceans. Acts of love will ripple outward to places your feet have never gone. When one falls, another will lift. When one weeps, another will comfort. When one sings, the whole assembly will rejoice. This is the unbreakable strength of unity in the Spirit, a power that cannot be stolen, silenced, or corrupted. This is the era of divine convergence, the age of light united. Darkness will not prevail against the army of love. The world may tremble, but those who belong to me will remain steady as Mount Zion. They will be lamps that cannot be hidden, salt that heals the earth, and rivers that bring life to barren lands. And you, my faithful one, are part of this great rising. My beloved, now that you stand together in my spirit, I call you to step out, carry the light into every corner of a world groaning in shadow. It is no longer time to talk about faith. It is time to live it. No longer the season of promises, but the hour of action. For the world is not changed by sermons that echo, but by hearts that love quietly. I do not call you to build walls of doctrine, but to open doors of compassion. Each bearer of light carries a unique assignment, yet all serve one purpose: to restore the heart of humanity to true love. One is sent to heal bodies, another to soothe souls, another to strengthen faith, and still others to intercede unseen for the nations. None is greater than another. Each task, no matter how small, is a sacred piece of the great symphony of redemption. Like mosaic stones of many colors, forming one masterpiece, each soul contributes to the beauty of salvation's design. Remember, none are sent to shine alone. My light within you was created to join with others. Alone you can brighten a room, together you will illuminate the earth. That is why I call you children of light, a city on a hill that cannot be hidden. When you live and labor in unity, miracles unfold, sicknesses are healed, chains fall away, hardened hearts soften, and lost souls find their way home. I send you not to condemn, but to restore. The world has heard enough accusation. What it needs are hearts that know how to love. You are not called to prove righteousness, but to reflect mercy. Go to the weak without judgment. Lift the fallen without reminding them of their fall. Be a bearer of peace, not through words, but through presence. When you stand silently and still shine, my Spirit works most powerfully through you. There will be places I lead you, dry lands, where you may think light cannot survive. But fear not, for it is precisely in those dark places that your light will blaze brightest. I send you not to what is easy, but to where you are needed most. There you will be my hands, my voice, the pulse of my heart among humanity. I will be with you, and everything done in love will bear fruit. No act of kindness, however small, is ever lost in my sight. The mission of my light bearers is not to build monuments or claim power, but to restore humankind through grace. They rebuild what was broken: families, torn apart relationships, shattered faith forgotten. They seek no glory for themselves, but return it all to me. They persuade not by speech, but by life. They wield no iron sword, but the sword of the Spirit, the word of truth, and the compassion of the heart. And when this light moves as one body, the world will awaken to the song of heaven again. For love, pure, selfless, enduring, will always be the loudest voice of all. My beloved child, when you act together in love, the limits of this world will shatter. I will expand your borders to reach places that have never known my name. I will give you the language of the heart, so that even where tongues differ and colors vary, soul will touch soul. Many will look upon you and ask, how can they love like that? And the only answer will be, because they carry the love of God within them. Do not imagine that the path of the light bearer will be easy. There will be times when you are misunderstood, opposed, or even mocked. But fear not, for darkness only resists what it fears to lose. Remember, even Jesus, the light of the world, was rejected, judged, and nailed to a cross. Yet it was on the cross that the light blazed brightest, reaching into the deepest night. So, my child, when trials come, do not despair. They are proof that your light is real. You are not alone in this mission. Countless lamps are being kindled across the earth, in quiet homes, on crowded streets, amid war zones, and in glittering cities. They are your brothers and sisters of light, those who have heard the call and answered with a single yes. Some pray in silence, some serve unseen, some proclaim truth among crowds, but all share the same heart to serve in love, to live by faith, to walk in humility. As you journey together, my Spirit will work through you in ways beyond human understanding. The walls between religions will begin to dissolve. The boundaries of division will fade. For light does not belong to one group, it belongs to all who open their hearts. And as my love spreads, all roads will lead back to one source, me, the Creator of all. What you plant today will bloom in the days to come. Your prayers will echo through generations like a river of grace that never runs dry. You may not see the full harvest in this lifetime, but trust, no prayer is forgotten, no seed is lost. Everything done in my name becomes part of an eternal inheritance. When you look back, you will see that this shared mission was a glimpse of heaven itself, a place where all worship, love, and live in light together. No one is left behind. Every soul has a place in the eternal symphony. You will realize that I never sought perfection, only faithfulness. In my kingdom, none are cast out for falling, only those who refuse to rise. I send you forth not with threats, but with blessing. Go as one who carries light, live as one who is loved, and love as one who has been forgiven. Let every step you take leave a trace of grace. Let every word you speak plant a seed of hope. Let every act you do open a door for another to meet me. And when you grow weary, remember, I will renew your strength, for I am the endless source. This is the hour of awakening. Light is spreading, love is rising, and the world is being prepared for the final harvest. I am calling my light bearers from every place, those faithful and humble ones who seek no glory of their own. They will not carry the name of man, but my name. They will not speak by their own will, but by the breath of my Spirit. And you, my beloved, are part of that army, a spark in the ocean of eternal light, a single note in the song of redemption. My child, the time you have long awaited is near. The promises I whispered in your long nights are beginning to unfold in radiant daylight. Every tear you shed in faith has been precious to me. I have kept each one in heaven's golden vial. Now, my child, you are about to step into the season of fullness, where promises are no longer distant hopes, but living realities within every breath you take. I know how long you've waited. I know the days when your heart nearly broke from silence and delay. I saw you pray faithfully, when the heavens seemed still, walk forward, when the path was unclear, and believe even when everything around you seemed to crumble. That faith has reached my heart, and because you have stood firm through the storm, you will now see my hand move. What was delayed is being released. What was closed is opening. What was dormant is awakening under my light. Look back upon your journey, the dark seasons, the lonely days, the unanswered nights. Do you remember when you thought everything was lost? In those moments, I was rebuilding what you could not see. When you thought the seed was buried, it was taking root. When you thought I was silent, I was preparing the way. When you thought the dream had died, I was breathing life into it again. Now the time has ripened, and you are about to taste the first fruits of your faith. You once asked, Lord, when, and I was silent, not because I did not hear, but because the time was not yet right. Now I tell you, the time is fulfilled. As spring follows the longest winter, your glory is arriving exactly as I ordained, not early, not late, but perfect in its hour. The years of waiting are not wasted. They are being redeemed into abundance beyond what you imagined. What you are stepping into is not merely reward, it is inheritance, for I am faithful to finish what I began. The waiting is ending, and the dawn you prayed for is here. Walk forward now, my child, into the light of all that I have prepared, and let the world see through you the glory of the living God. My beloved child, when I act, I do not act halfway. When I open a door, no one can shut it. When I bless, no power can hinder. My glory does not come merely to lift you up, but to shine through you so that others may see me in your eyes, in your words, and in the way you live. Therefore, when blessings come, remember humility. When promises are fulfilled, give the glory back to me. For it is humility that will keep you standing firm in the season of exaltation. Do you remember what I said to Abraham, my child? When he looked up at the sky filled with stars, I promised that his descendants would be as numerous. Yet it took many long years, years of waiting, of doubt, of aching silence before that promise was fulfilled in Isaac. Likewise, you have walked your own journey of faith through tears, uncertainty, and nights when you could not understand my ways. But as Abraham did not give up, neither did you. And now you are about to hold your own Isaac. The promise made flesh, the dream resurrected, the answer made real. Do not be surprised if blessings come in unexpected ways. I often work through paths unseen so that glory belongs not to man but to me. I may open a way where none existed, send help from directions you never imagined, or even use what once wounded you to bring healing to others. For I am the one who makes all things work together for the good of those who love me. When you look back, you will understand nothing was wasted, no pain without purpose, no delay without design. In this season of glory, I do not merely wish to bless you. I wish to make you a blessing. True blessing is not in having much, but in becoming a vessel through which much flows. When you are filled, pour out. When you are lifted, lift others. When you are healed, heal others with compassion. When you are set free, break the chains of those still bound. For the glory I place upon you is not for your celebration alone, it is for the continuation of my work on earth. I have chosen this moment not only to answer your prayers, but to display my power before all people. When others see what I have done in your life, they will say, "Surely the Lord has acted. Through you I will awaken hearts, revive faith, and push back darkness even further." You will not only witness miracles, you will carry them, bringing them wherever my light sends you. In your time of glory, remember the lessons of humility. Do not let outward brightness dim your inward flame. Keep your heart pure, your eyes fixed on me, your hands ready to serve. For only when you live to serve does your crown remain secure. When you humble yourself, I will raise you higher. When you return the glory to me, I will multiply it beyond measure. I do not promise you a fleeting favor, but an eternal glory. What I am doing in your life now will echo into forever. Your name is engraved upon the palm of my hand, and the works you have done in my name are recorded in the book of life. No power can erase what I have ordained. No force can halt what I have spoken. You are part of my eternal design, and the glory you see today is but the beginning of far greater wonders in eternity. The Son of Righteousness rises with healing in his wings. What was broken will be restored. What was forgotten will be remembered. What seemed dead will breathe again. My child, your time has come. This is the season when I decree blessing over you, No more delay, no more shadow, no more silence. I will cause your name to be spoken across the earth, not to exalt you, but to magnify my glory through you. And as you look around, you will see everything once ruined, rebuilt everything, once lost, redeemed everything, once lifeless, renewed. My light will clothe you like a new mantle, and you will walk in the fullness of every promise. For I am the Lord who cannot lie, the one who began this work in you, and I will bring it to completion in glory. My beloved, before the fullness of light, the last shadow will rise. It does not come to destroy, but to prove the light true. Everything I have sown in you, faith, endurance, wisdom, love, will now be tested by fire. But fear not, for this fire comes not to consume, but to refine. Just as gold becomes pure, only when passed through flame your soul will shine brighter through trial. When the storm winds rise, remember the tree with deep roots does not fall, and your roots are deep in me. There will be moments when darkness seems to prevail, when voices whisper doubt, where is your God? Why this silence? But my child, silence does not mean absence. It is an invitation to trust more deeply. Darkness is not defeated. It is the midnight before dawn. As Golgotha led to resurrection morning, your hardest hour will open the door to your greatest glory. Do not fear when you cannot see the way, for I am the way. Do not fear when you hear nothing, for in the stillness I am working. Light is not proven in daylight, but in darkness. When all other lights go out, yours will shine the brightest. That is when the world will look at you and know you are mine. They will wonder how you can remain peaceful in the storm, hopeful and loss-loving amid hate, and you will answer, because my God is still here. In that testimony, my glory will be revealed. Do not run from the dark. Carry your light into it. When you face the impossible, you will see me move. When you are weak, you will feel my strength made perfect. When you stand before walls, you will watch seas divide. I have never failed, and I will not fail you. As I delivered Daniel from the lion's den, as I brought his friends unharmed from the fire, so too will I keep you through every trial. The flames will not burn you. The floods will not sweep you away. For I am the one who walks in the fire beside you, my beloved child. When darkness surrounds you, do not strive in your own strength. Light is not a weapon for attack, but a nature that simply shines. When you stand still in faith, the darkness dissolves on its own. When you keep silent in peace, the noise fades away. When you pray in quiet trust, heaven itself begins to move. This is no longer a battle fought by human hands, it is the battle of the Spirit, and the Spirit within you is stronger than any power upon the earth. There will be times when you feel alone, as though those who once walked beside you have turned away. But know this, my child, I am separating you from voices that do not belong to me. Not everyone is meant to walk with you to the end. Some are sent for only a season to teach you something to shape your heart, and then they go. Thank them, forgive them, and keep walking. For ahead I have prepared new companions, souls of the same frequency, who will share your burden and sing the same song of glory. You are never truly alone, for I am with you, and my army of light surrounds you on every side. I allow darkness to draw near, not to threaten you, but that my glory may be revealed. When the world believes, it is the end that is when I begin. When they say, there is no more hope, I declare, let there be light. Do not worry about how I act, simply believe that I am acting. You may not understand all my ways, but you can trust my heart. My heart does not change, and my love never runs dry. In this sacred hour, I am thinning the veil between heaven and earth. Those who live in the light will sense heaven closer than ever before. Your prayers will not only rise, but will be answered swiftly. Miracles will occur not loudly, but as naturally as breathing. There will be small signs, a word, a glance, a moment that seems ordinary, but in them you will recognize my hand. Though the world trembles in chaos, you will feel a divine order embracing you. I have told you, The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it. John 1:5. That word still stands forever. Though the earth may shake, my light in you will not be extinguished. Guard your flame. Do not let the winds of life snuff it out. Do not fear when the oil runs low, for I am the endless supply. Each time you pray, I pour in more. Each time you forgive, your lamp grows brighter. Each time you love, your light burns more fiercely than before. The victory is already won. You do not fight for victory, but from victory. The cross has finished all things, and the crown of glory awaits. As you endure to the end, not only will you be saved, but many souls will be drawn into the light through you. You will see justice restored, truth revealed, and love triumphant over all. When the final shadow fades, you will behold the brilliance of my glory covering all things. Every tear will be wiped away. Every wound will be healed. Every loss will be restored in abundance. You will fall to your knees, tears, streaming not of sorrow but of gratitude, for you will see that every promise I made has been fulfilled. Nothing was left undone, no word fell to the ground. I, the faithful one, have kept my word, and my glory stands before your eyes, my beloved. When the last darkness has passed and the refining fire has done its work, a new dawn begins, not a dawn of this world, but of eternity. This is the hour when every faithful soul rests in light, where tears are no more and fear and toil dissolve. You have walked the path of faith, of fire, of unity, and of purpose. Now you enter the season of fulfillment, where your spirit joins heaven in an endless harmony of life everlasting. The air of the new world fills your every breath. Even the whisper of the wind carries the rhythm of grace. The earth still turns below, yet your eyes are open to what lies beyond it. The light is no longer only before you, it has become you. Your soul is now like a still lake, reflecting perfectly the face of your Creator. Every wound that once tore you apart now glows with holy light. Every sorrow you endured has become the evidence of my love. This is the ending I ordained, not the end of life, but the beginning of wholeness. Nothing you have suffered was in vain. Every tear, every prayer, every choice to forgive instead of retaliate, to love instead of close your heart, all have been woven into your crown of glory. Just as Joseph once said to those who wronged him, "You intended to harm me, but God intended it for good," so will you speak to your own past. For you will know that without those nights of darkness, you would never have found the true light. Now listen to the sound of eternal morning, not the cry of sorrow, but the song of praise. Heaven rejoices, for a soul has finished the journey and returned home in light. The angels sing with joy, for they watched you stand when you could have fallen. And I, the one who walked beside you through it all, now smile upon you as a father welcoming his beloved child home. You are no longer the weary traveler. You are the heir of the kingdom of light, where love knows no bounds and peace never fades. My beloved child, the eternal dawn does not arrive with thunder or fanfare. It comes softly like the breath of grace. You will see the world around you seeming to change, not because the world has shifted, but because you have. Your soul has become clear enough to see creation as I see it. A trembling branch will speak to you of life. A drop of dew will mirror my glory. You will no longer search for me in distant places, for you will recognize I am everywhere, in every glance, every laugh, every breath, every heartbeat, in the rhythm of existence itself. Then you will understand what no human tongue can fully express, that true glory is not found in thrones or power, but in being completely dissolved within my love. When there is no more separation between you and me, between your work and my work, between your will and mine, that is when you step into a perfect union. This is the ultimate goal of every journey, not to achieve, but to become one with love. And when your soul melts into that radiant source, every longing, every question, every fear will vanish like morning mist in sunlight. In that place, time ceases to flow, for all things rest in eternal now. You will see again the souls you once loved and thought were gone. They are here bright as stars, untouched by distance or sorrow. You will hear your former prayers turned into songs of thanksgiving. You will see clearly that everything I have ever done, whether you understood it or not, has been for one purpose, that you might know me deeper, love me truer, and become more like me. My child, now you understand why I allowed tears, why I led you through deserts. Only through thirst can a soul value the living water. Only through night can one treasure the dawn. If I had given you everything at the beginning, you would never have learned to cherish blessings. But because you waited now, you will know how to hold it. All that once frightened you has become precious for you. See how it shaped you into what you are now. A soul ripened in light, strong enough to love, tender enough to feel, deep enough to forgive, and humble enough to bow before glory. The gate of peace now opens. Before you lies a world without limits, no boundary between heaven and earth, between man and God, between present and eternity. Here you need not ask, for all is already provided. You need not fight, for nothing stands against you. You need not prove your worth, for you know you are loved unconditionally. And in that love you will rest, not in idleness, but in the sacred joy of a soul that has found its way home. When you live within this eternal dawn, you will see it is not the end for the faithful, but the beginning of a new calling, the calling of praise. You will no longer pray for yourself, but for the nations. You will no longer weep for your wounds, but for love's longing to embrace the world. You will sing with the angels, speak with the saints, and rejoice in the perfect harmony of my kingdom. Every breath you draw will be thanksgiving. Every step you take an act of worship. This is what I prepared from the foundation of creation. Nothing was random, nothing beyond plan. Every step you took, every choice you made, every word you spoke, all has led to this moment, the moment you merge with the light of eternity. I have waited for you here like a father waiting for his child to come home. And now you have returned. No more pain, no more fear, no more doubt, only love, pure, endless, indestructible. And I say to you, faithful soul, you have fought the good fight, you have finished the race, you have kept the faith. Now the crown of life is yours. From this moment, you will live no longer within the limits of flesh, but in the fullness of spirit. You will walk in light without weariness, sing without ceasing. Behold me face to face, and know at last that every promise, every vision, every hope has always led to one truth: love never fails. Thank you for listening to this message today. Subscribe and turn on the notification bell so we can continue receiving these living words together, growing in faith, walking in endless love, and living each day in the boundless grace of God. Amen.